Alright guys, so today on Next Level Sports, I'm going to be reacting, reviewing, and grading Chat Sports Way Too Early 2021 NFL Mock Draft. Now I want to say that I am not here to bash Chat Sports. That is not what I'm going to be doing. I like Chat Sports. I encourage all of you to go check them out. They are pumping out content constantly, and I like what they put out most of the time. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe for more NFL draft content and general NFL topics. So let's go ahead and jump into Chat Sports Way Too Early 2021 NFL Mock Draft. I like their intro. Very cool. Whoever done it done a nice job.
It's 2021 NFL mock draft time. We'll dive into it, but first I thought it'd be fun to take a look back at some of my top hits from last year and some of my top misses as well. I got Tua right team. Of course, it was number 1. I had Andrew Thomas and Chase Young into the top 15. I'm claiming victory on Laviska Shenault as well because he did go to the Jags just in round 2. Kayvon Chase was a top 20 guy for me before the year even began. And I got Jordan Love in round 1. I got a bunch of other picks right as well in terms of going in the first round. But I also missed plenty. That's the nature of a way too early NFL mock draft. Don't forget, folks, this is really more of a watch list than it is a, well, this team's going to pick this player because
all the way to the 7th round.
So to go on. I got this one wrong with everyone else. No one had Joe Burrow in the first round.
No one had Joe
I had
Burrow
Bryce Hall as CB1. Then he got hurt. That kind of killed him. Delpin and Epinesa did not help themselves out throughout the season, especially at the combine for Epinesa.
He did good on the other extreme, though, where he picked all those guys in the first round or outside the first round.
And then I also had Isaiah
That's very impressive.
Jeffrey Okudah in there, but not in the top 25, at least for Okudah. Oops on that front. Again, reminder, the order is based on the Vegas odds. Please do not blame me for having your team drafting number 1 overall, which in this case is the Jacksonville Jags. If they have the number 1 overall pick, guess what, folks? They're going quarterback. No doubt.
So Trevor Lawrence to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the first round. I'm giving this one an A. This one's pretty much like a test where the only question is, can you write your name? So you either get an A or you get an F. So this pick, I'm giving an A2 for Chat Sports for the Trevor Lawrence going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I like that pick. Pretty simple. And as of right now, that's what all picks should be as far as I'm concerned.
Picking number 2 overall is the Washington Redskins. Guess what, folks? If the Redskins...
Justin Fields, number 2 overall to the Washington Redskins. I'm going to give this one a C+. I'm not as high on Justin Fields as a lot of you guys are, as you know, if you've watched any of my other videos. If you haven't, go back and check those out. I got a top 50 big board. My Way Too Early mock draft is on the channel. Justin Fields, he is not my second quarterback. He's actually my third quarterback. But when you think of Ron Rivera, Justin Fields does pretty well compared to Cam Newton, more so than what most of these other quarterbacks will in this draft class. So I'm going to give it a solid C+. At number 3, Penny Sewell to the Cincinnati Bengals. I like this pick. I'm giving it an A+. You got Joe Burrow last year, your franchise quarterback. He's got some pretty decent weapons on the outside. Now we got to protect this guy. Penny Sewell is probably one of the best, if not the best, offensive tackle to come out in the last decade.
Number 4, the Carolina Panthers couldn't resist getting Joe Brady, his number 1 receiver, in Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase to the Carolina Panthers. I like this pick. I'm giving it an A as well. Joe Brady, the former offensive coordinator for the LSU Tigers last season, who had Jamar Chase, goes to the Carolina Panthers to be their offensive coordinator, and then he takes his true number 1 wide receiver from college and brings him in to be his true number 1 wide receiver for the NFL. Jamar Chase is going to explode onto the scene in the NFL. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the run after the catch, he's got the route running. He's got it all. He's just a total package. He is number 3 on my big board. If you haven't seen that yet, spoiler alert, go back and check that out. But I give this pick an A. I like this pick. So let's go ahead and continue on with the video.
Number 5, the New
York Giants take Gregory Rousseau at number 5. I'm going to give this pick a C. The Giants have a lot of needs on the defensive side of the ball. And yes, edge rusher is one. Yes, Gregory Rousseau is the best edge rusher in this class. But I feel like this is too early for Gregory Rousseau. I don't feel like he is going to come in and be a consistent disruptor along that defensive line. I think he probably could have added to the secondary with both Sean Wade and Patrick Surtain still on the board. Not a bad pick, just not a pick that I would have made. So for that reason, I give it a C.
Continue with another ACC player. The Detroit Lions get Justin Ross.
Okay, now you can't really fault them for this one. I'm not going to give them a grade on this one. I'm going to give it an NA, not applicable, because Justin Ross has gotten hurt. He's out for the season. This video was made well before any news of Justin Ross actually getting hurt ever come out. So I'm going to give this a not applicable. But even if so, even if he wasn't hurt at this point, I probably would have given them a C, because Justin Ross, I like him. He is probably my second or third wide receiver if he wasn't hurt. But I also feel like this would be a little bit too early for Justin Ross at this point.
All right, the Dolphins here at number 7, Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons at number 7 to the Miami Dolphins. I give this pick an A+. This is a guy that you can actually build a defense around. He will be the leader of that defense for the next decade. He can play sideline to sideline, very athletic. He's a converted edge rusher, so he has pass rush skills at that interior middle linebacker position, which is really, really a pain for offensive coordinators and quarterbacks when they get that penetration up the middle. And this would really give the Dolphins defense a boost.
The Jets are 8 overall. Patrick Surtain, the corner.
At number 8 overall, the New York Jets have, Chat Sports have them taking Patrick Surtain, cornerback out of Alabama. I give this pick an A. Patrick Surtain is my top cornerback on the board. He can line up and play man-to-man with just about any receiver that you want to put him against. He's got the size, he's got the ball skills, and that is also a need for the New York Jets. So I give this pick an A. And I also forgot to mention, at the beginning of the video, that a link to Chat Sports channel will be down in the description box below. So definitely be sure to go and check them out and check out what they're putting out, because they're daily putting something out. They have a lot of content on their channel. Like I said, I do like them, and I'm not here to bash them. So be sure to leave a like and subscribe to this channel to come back for more scouting reports, big boards, player rankings, things of that nature. But be sure to check out Chat Sports as well. So let's continue with this mock draft.
Another corner at number 9, Shaun Wade.
Shaun Wade, cornerback from Ohio State, goes to the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to give this pick a B. I like Shaun Wade, but I feel like the Cardinals would get better use off of a defensive lineman or an edge rusher at this position. Although there's not an edge rusher, there has been no defensive lineman taken off the board. Marvin Wilson is still sitting there. Tyler Shelvin's still sitting there. I would have taken either one of those guys over Shaun Wade. But Shaun Wade is not a bad pickup here. He's my second overall cornerback in this class, and he also fits a need for the Cardinals. Just not the pick I would have made, but I still give this pick a B.
Number 10, the Dolphins have Tua. And I'm going to go with the other Alabama receiver among the big four. I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle here.
Jalen Waddle out of Alabama goes to the Miami Dolphins with their second first-round pick. I'm going to give this one a C. I feel like the Dolphins already have some pretty solid wide receivers with Devontae Parker, Allen Hurns, that undrafted rookie. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, which is driving me nuts right now. He exploded onto the scene before he got hurt. Jakeem Grant's a speedy wide receiver. They got another guy, Wilson. I can't remember his name off the top of my head either. You guys are going to learn if you stick around for a little while. I am terrible with names. But I'm giving this pick a C. Although Jalen Waddle is a great talent and he is in my top 5 on the wide receiver rankings, I don't feel like this is exactly a need for the Dolphins. I feel like they could have went and gotten themselves one of these bell cow running backs to really help Tua, because a young quarterback's best friend is a strong, solid running game. And after building up your offensive line in the last draft class, adding a few pieces on defense, I feel like a strong running game would have helped Tua more than anything. So for that reason, I give this pick a C.
Denver Broncos at number 11 here. I'm going to give them Alex Leatherwood.
Alex Leatherwood to the Denver Broncos. I just got to be honest, I got to give this pick a D here. I don't like Alex Leatherwood as an offensive tackle. He lacks the agility, the footwork, the length to play the offensive tackle position. While the Broncos do need to work on their offensive line to protect Drew Lock after giving him some weapons and seeing what he can really do in the NFL, I feel like there's better offensive linemen on the board. You got Sam Cosmi, you got Walker Little, you've got Liam Eichenberg. I just don't like this pick of Alex Leatherwood. While he is versatile and can play all along that offensive line, this is just not. I feel like there's better offensive linemen on the board here. But I understand why people like Leatherwood with his versatility. You can plug and play him just about anywhere on the offensive line. Just not a pick I would have made. I would have preferred someone who can take over for Garrett Bowles, and I don't think Alex Leatherwood can do that.
All right, the Raiders are here at number 12. I can already hear Raider fans getting mad at me. Just so we are clear again, draft order based on the Vegas odds. Please don't forget that. Now, Trey Lance
goes 12 overall to the Oakland Raiders. I'm giving this pick an A. I don't necessarily think this is a need for the Raiders, but the Raiders don't have a lot of needs. I feel like Derek Carr is a good enough quarterback to really get them where they are. But Trey Lance, he's got that upside. He's not going to turn the football over. He's going to add some more versatility to your offense with his running ability. Throws an accurate football. He's not going to lose football games for you. So you're moving on from Derek Carr. You could have done some work at the safety position with no safeties going off the board just yet. Javon Holland, Nasir, or Hassam Nazarildeen are still both on the board. I feel like you could have went safety here. But I'm giving it an A because of the upside of Trey Lance, and he is my second overall quarterback in the 2021 NFL draft class.
All right, the Falcons here at number 13, Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne goes 13 overall to the Atlanta Falcons. This pick I'm also giving a C. Fits a need here, ain't no doubt about it. The Falcons do need a running back depending on Ty Gurley and his health and how he is going to perform during the 2020 season. Even if he does perform well, it's more than likely they do need to add another running back just for insurance. But Travis Etienne is my third ranked running back in this class. I give it a C because I do have running backs better, but it does fit a need. But I can see why other people have Etienne as their top running back. Very fast, low center of gravity. The problem with me is he doesn't generate yards after contact, and that is a big issue in the NFL because defenses are fast in the NFL. It is hard to get behind them. It is hard to get that edge. And Travis Etienne, maybe he can do it, maybe he can't, but I would go with a safer pick and someone who could generate yards after contact and at least push the ball, because if he gets hit in the backfield, you're losing yards on the play. But he also has that ability to break a home run at any given moment as well.
Atlanta. Rondale Moore, number 14. He's a blast.
Rondale Moore to the LA Chargers at 14 overall. This pick I am going to give a D to. The LA Chargers have got to fix that offensive line. They have been grossly neglecting it for years. And there are still a lot of offensive tackles still on the board. You got Sam Cosmi. You got Walker Little. They just invested a lot in the wide receiver position, having Mike Williams. They took 7 overall. They still got Keenan Allen as well. I don't really understand this pick here. While Rondale Moore, he could play running back for you. He could be your kick returner. He could line up in the slot for you. I feel like you got to protect Justin Herbert. And if you don't protect Justin Herbert, if you don't protect him, he is not going to develop. So we have got to protect Justin Herbert. Rondale Moore, while he is a good player, an exciting player, he's not really helping you in the long run.
The Bears at number 15. I thought about quarterback here, but I'm going to go with Trey Smith, the interior.
Trey Smith, interior offensive lineman from Tennessee, goes 15 overall to the Chicago Bears. I'm giving this pick a B. Trey Smith is my highest rated interior offensive lineman. He could kick out and play offensive tackle because he has some experience playing tackle there at Tennessee. He came in as a freshman for an offensive tackle, got moved to the inside. So I'm giving it a B because he is my top overall interior offensive lineman. But it's obvious Mitchell Trubisky just isn't your guy. Nick Foles is a stopgap quarterback. I think Jamie Newman would have been a better pick here for the Bears. But I don't hate this pick. I like this pick. And the Bears also do need to fix their offensive line. I just probably would have went quarterback. And for that reason, I give this pick a B. But I do like it.
Number 16, this pick, by the way, from the Los Angeles Rams. That number 10 pick earlier from Miami was also from the Houston Texans. Forgot to mention that one. Caleb Farley.
Caleb Farley, 16 overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm giving this pick a D. I don't necessarily hate the pick because it is a position of need for the Jaguars. But according to what's on the board right now for these guys in their mock draft, you could have went Israel Mukama, a long physical corner, who is my number 3 cornerback in this class. You could have went Paulson Adebo, who has great ball skills, excels in a zone coverage scheme, which the Jacksonville Jaguars do run quite a bit. I know that because I'm a Titans fan and we play them twice a year, and I always try to know my enemy. Or you could have went offensive lineman here because you got Trevor Lawrence. You really need to protect him. And again, Walker Little and Sam Cosmi are both still on the board at this point. And there's even some other guys who are lower on my list, who are higher on other people's list, who are also still on the board right now. While the Jaguars, when they were very dominant in the NFL and made it all the way to the AFC Championship game, it was on the heels of a dominant defense, a defense that just shut everybody down. And maybe the Jaguars do decide to go and build that dominant defense again. I just don't think this is the guy to do it with, and I think you would get more benefit from protecting Trevor Lawrence than you would adding a defensive secondary guy here in the first round with your second pick.
All right, the Browns at 17, Xavier Thomas.
17 overall, the Cleveland Browns select edge rusher Xavier Thomas from Clemson for the Chat Sports mock draft. Now, this is a guy that I haven't watched yet. I'm still making my way through the edge rushers and the safeties in this draft class, trying to get to know everybody, what they're good at, and just trying to get a general idea of them. I haven't watched this guy yet. I don't hate this pick. If you got a good edge rusher here, I think the Cleveland Browns are in a great position to pick best player available. So I'm going to give this, I guess, a B, because although I don't know this guy, I like the position that they went, and he might be the best player available on their board. Getting a good edge rusher to play across from Myles Garrett would be a great idea. I think maybe the Browns could go with a safety here, but you just drafted Grant Delpit, so we're going to wait and see how he's going to develop through the 2020 season. I think you could have went linebacker here. Dylan Moses is still on the board, but maybe Xavier Thomas is their best overall player. This is a guy that I've got to get around to watching. Him and Big Cat Bryant are two of the guys that I'm looking forward to watching that I haven't watched yet. So I'm going to give this a B, but in parentheses marks an NA because I haven't watched this guy yet. I just like the position that they went with this pick.
Number 18, Marvin Wilson, who could have a Derek Brown-type breakout year for Florida State. Played really well for the Seminoles. I thought he was going to go pro, but he's back for one more year.
Minnesota Vikings taking Marvin Wilson at 18 overall. I'm giving this pick an A because Marvin Wilson should have went a long time ago, to be completely honest with you. But the Vikings get great value here. They get a player who is going to produce more on paper. Supposedly he should produce more than where he's going to be drafted at here. Great pass rushing ability is really going to help the middle of that defense for the Minnesota Vikings. So I like this pick here.
Number 19, let's give the Patriots a receiver here. Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith to the Patriots at number 19 overall. I like this pick. Devonta Smith's a great route runner. He's got some speed to him, got some run after the catch ability, and that is something that the Patriots need. So far, they've struck out on the wide receiver position. It seems like that's a position that they always seem to struggle on. I think Devonta Smith is a good, safe pick here who is going to develop and have a nice career in the NFL. While he may not turn out to be a superstar, he's going to be a dependable guy that you can depend on week in and week out.
Back-to-back Bama picks here. Christian Barmore, who didn't play a lot.
For my team, the Tennessee Titans at number 20 overall, Chat Sports had them taking Christian Barmore, defensive lineman out of Alabama. I'm giving this pick a C because, the Titans could use another defensive lineman, but it is not their most pressing need. Adam Humphries is more of a slot receiver. A.J. Brown broke out as a rookie, but Corey Davis is going to be leaving in free agency if he's not traded before then during the 2021 offseason. So I feel like a wide receiver here would have been a better pick. You still have Rashad Bateman on the board. You still have Tylan Wallace on the board. I'm sure there's others I'm just not realizing are still on the board at this given moment, but I feel like a wide receiver would have been a better pick here for the Titans, or even quarterback, because Ryan Tannehill, while he has been great for us, and we do appreciate what Ryan Tannehill has done for us, we know that he is not the long-term answer. He's 33 years old already. He's already 33, so we need a younger quarterback. We let Ryan Tannehill play the 2020 season. No big deal. Jamie Newman's still on the board. We could have picked him up, let him develop behind Ryan Tannehill for a year or two. That would have been a great idea, I feel like, at this point in the draft. But for that reason, I'm giving this pick a C for Chat Sports. But that's okay. There's not a lot of people who, if you're not Titans fan, knows a lot about the Titans. I'm not saying Chat Sports doesn't. I don't know much about Christian Barmore. I know he is a big interior defensive lineman who is great against the run, but I really need to break his tape down a little bit more to get a better general idea of him as I watch him throughout the 2020 season. But I feel like a quarterback or a wide receiver would have been a better pick here for the Titans, just after taking Jeffrey Simmons in the past draft, not the 2020 but the 2019 draft, after taking Jeffrey Simmons. And we've already got some pretty good depth along the defensive line. J-Rob does not like taking defensive linemen for some reason. I don't know why. If we have 6 on our roster, that's just way too many defensive linemen. We got to have 5 or fewer, maybe even 4.
All right, we'll do Samuel Cosmi to the Colts, Creed Humphrey to the Packers, and Paulson Adebo all in a little group.
All right, Samuel Cosmi to the Colts, Creed Humphrey to the Packers, Paulson Adebo to the Philadelphia Eagles. For the Sam Cosmi pick, I'm going to give that one a B. Anthony Costanzo is getting older now, so we're going to need to replace him. Sam Cosmi has some things that he needs to clean up and work on. I feel like he needs to get stronger for the NFL, but as far as length and footwork-wise, he's got that pretty well down. The Green Bay Packers taking Creed Humphrey. I'm giving this pick, I give it a B. I feel like it should be a B minus instead of a C plus, but I'll give it a B minus. The Packers need to work on that offensive line. They're getting older now. Aaron Rodgers, we've already seen it's about time to start looking to pass that torch on, so they need to work on that offensive line. I think I still would have went tackle here with Walker Little still on the board, but I don't hate this pick. Paulson Adebo to the Eagles, I'll give this pick an A. The Eagles still need to, if there is one weakness on this Eagles roster, it is that defensive secondary. So Paulson Adebo to the Eagles, I like that pick there. Very good ball skills from a cornerback who probably would have been a first-round pick if he come out during the 2020 NFL draft, but I don't know. You've seen how the corners fell in the 2020 NFL draft. The Titans, got Christian Fulton in the second round, which I am ecstatic to have.
All right, Seattle number 24 overall. How about a big-bodied receiver?
Seth Williams goes to the Seahawks at 24 overall. This pick I'm also going to give a C. I feel like Israel Mukama would have been a better pick here. They just took DK Metcalf a couple years ago. Tyler Lockett's still on the roster. I feel like an offensive lineman in Walker Little or even a defensive secondary in Israel Mukama would have been a better pick here. But again, I don't hate this pick. I just feel like it is a little bit of a reach. They have Seth Williams over Rashad Bateman. I feel like Rashad Bateman is better, but I can certainly see why they like Seth Williams as well.
All right, number 25, Pat Freiermuth. I wasn't sure.
Pat Freiermuth to the Buffalo Bills at 25 overall. I like this pick. I'm giving it an A. This could be the missing link to that Buffalo Bills offense. I feel like an interior offensive lineman would have been a solid pick here, but you see how the interior offensive line goes. You could get you a starter in the 3rd, maybe even the 4th round. Pat Freiermuth is a great tight end. He's got the size. He is an excellent blocker, the best blocker in this draft class, and the 2nd best receiving tight end in this class. Got the route running. The only real knock on him is sometimes he'll drop a pass that he should catch, and I feel like that's because he's thinking about the run after the catch instead of actually catching the ball in. That will really causes him to drop it when that little break in concentration. But I really like Pat Freiermuth. I feel like this is a very good pick for the Buffalo Bills here at 25 overall in Chat Sports. Way too early 2021 NFL mock draft.
I'll go back-to-back tight ends here. I like Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts to the Steelers at 26 overall. I'm giving this pick a C, and for that reason, I feel like Israel Mukama should be the pick here. I feel like that's like Israel Mukama to the Steelers. It's just like a dream matchup because the Steelers really love those long cornerbacks who play physical. Artie Burns is another one of those. Although Artie Burns didn't work out, I feel like Israel Mukama would. I feel like the Steelers are really going to love Israel Mukama. Kyle Pitts is a very good receiving tight end. I don't really feel like he fits a need for the Steelers. Maybe even a quarterback. Jamie Newman is still on the board, and they don't have anything behind Ben Roethlisberger as of yet when I'm recording this video either.
Number 27, the Dallas Cowboys, Javon Holland.
Javon Holland goes to the Dallas Cowboys at number 27 overall. I give this pick an A+. Javon Holland should have went much earlier in this draft, but he fits a need for the Dallas Cowboys. He's one of those rangy safeties who can play sideline to sideline and really take away the middle of the field. He can come down and play in the nickel and cover your slot receivers. Fits a need for the Cowboys, although I feel like he should have went way earlier in this draft. He didn't. But for that reason, I give this pick an A+ because the Cowboys get a great value here at 27 overall. And if you're a Cowboys fan, which I know there is a bunch of y'all, it seems like the Cowboys and the Panthers, from what I'm seeing on my channel, the Cowboys and the Panthers have the biggest fan bases. So you guys comment and let me know where you at, who you representing, because you can't let all these guys outnumber y'all. Come on now, what are you thinking? But if you're a Cowboys fan, you should love this pick.
Number 28, Najee Harris to the Bucs.
Najee Harris to the Bucs at 28 overall. I'm giving this pick a B. While Najee Harris isn't my second overall running back in this class, I feel like he is a great scheme fit for the Bucs and what the Bucs want to do. They want a guy who can bang it in between the tackles for Tom Brady, really wear out a defense. That way Tom Brady doesn't have to do as much. So I really like this pick here. So I'm giving it a B, even though he is not my second rated running back in the draft class. But that's okay, because even though player A is better than player B, if player B fits my system better and there's not a really big drop-off, there's nothing wrong with taking player B. So for that reason, I like this pick here. Najee Harris to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 28 overall.
Number 29, Dylan Moses, who before his injury was tracking towards being a round 1 pick. He goes back to Alabama. The linebackers fall.
Dylan Moses to the New Orleans Saints at 29 overall. And again, I'm giving this pick an A because the Saints sit back and they just let a talented player fall to them who fits a position of need. And the Saints, they did a good job here in waiting for that player to fall. Although I feel like Dylan Moses should have went earlier in this draft, maybe even as high as the Raiders picking at 12 would have been a good spot for Dylan Moses. But Trey Lance was there. But this is a position of need for the New Orleans Saints, so I feel like this is a solid pick for them. So I give this pick an A right here.
Number 30, Carlos Basham Jr.
Carlos Basham Jr. to the Baltimore Ravens at number 30 overall. I'm giving this pick a B. I like this pick. Carlos Basham, solid edge rusher. He's got some things he could clean up and work on. Not the most athletic guy in the world, but he comes in and he does his job. But Matt Judon, is he going to stay after the 2020 season? Is he going to not? So this guy could come in and step in and play that Matt Judon role. There wouldn't be a whole lot of fall off in that defense. So I give this pick a solid B. 31, Walker Little to the San Francisco 49ers. And again, this is a guy that I said should have went way earlier. I give this pick an A because I feel like the 49ers do need to invest a little more in that offensive line. Walker Little is a great scheme fit for that zone running scheme that the 49ers run. Very mobile, great size, great length. If it wasn't for his injury, they certainly, I already know for a fact, they would have had him going much higher. I would have had him going much higher. But because of his injury, he does fall. He has him falling all the way to the 31st pick to the San Francisco 49ers. I give this pick an A+ because I love this pick.
And then number 32, Tyler Shelvin.
Tyler Shelvin to the Kansas City Chiefs at 32 overall. I'm giving this pick an A as well. I like Tyler Shelvin. You are not going to be able to run the ball in the middle of the defense with Tyler Shelvin very often. He's just a space eater, big man. He's going to demand double teams. I feel like he could have went much earlier in this draft. You got Patrick Mahomes on the offensive side of the ball. You're about to have to pay him a king's ransom to keep him. He can carry the offense. So I feel like the smart thing for the Chiefs to do is to pay defense, draft defense, draft young on defense, let Patrick Mahomes carry your offense, and you could win a lot of Super Bowls like that. So guys, this is my reaction, review, and grade video for Chat Sports. Overall, I would give this mock draft a solid B. There were some picks that I would have made different. There were some picks that I loved. There were some picks that I was neutral on. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this mock draft. Be sure to go over and check out Chat Sports. Their link will be in the description box below. They got daily content always coming out, a lot of great content. Like I said, I like them. I'm not trying to bash them or anything of that nature. So be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to this channel, go check out their channel, and come back. We're going to have a lot more content coming out on this channel as well. I'm about to get off here, get ready, and go to work, and then come home and edit this video. So I'm kind of breaking the fourth wall, I guess you could say there. So anyways, guys, until next time, God bless, and I will catch you on the next level.